Well, hello there, muchachos, my very, very fine human beings. This is Bushka on Blitz. Whoever you are, whatever you're doing, and whoever you're doing it to, I am here to do it along with you. Today, we're going to be looking at a couple of games Pimp Daddy and I had from a recent run. Now, the boys in the other team in the platoon, the 101 AD, Radiance and Mr. J _7, are very, very good players. They're both nearly 70% win rate guys. 101 AD guys are top blokes. We have a lot of good games against them. And it should be mentioned that Pimp and I played them the other day, and we stuck around at Tier X, particularly because of these two guys. They gave us fantastic battles, and we probably fought them 10 times, maybe 9 times, and they kicked our ass in all but 3 games. So it's worth knowing that although we may look pretty good in this one, and we put up a fair fight in all the games, they definitely touched us up 7-3 on the leaderboard. Now, this is going to be 2 140 games. Pimp had just got the 183, and he loves it. He was dropping Hesh bombs left and right, laying waste to the battlefield, and we had a great run, and it was really, really good fun. The 140, I'm going to show you on Castilla lately. I've been going this flank and not actually going the hill and trying to troll people as they come through here and catching mediums who are going one off or from the other side, mediums that are crossing the bridge a little bit late. And you can see here, there's a 54. We just hit him in the tracks and we retreat quickly enough. Makes a bit of an error there. Get him again. Missed that track. We were going for the drive wheel. Now, a big part of my gameplay is hitting drive wheels. If you want to improve your win rate, your damage, all those kind of things, hit drive wheels, because the more you hit drive wheels, the more likely you are to get other people involved, and you'll get extra XP because when they do damage, you get assisted damage. And on top of that as well, you keep them mobile, and they'll either have to blow a kit to repair and get out of there, which makes them susceptible again to other engine damage and ammunition rack damage and everything. And there's 101 AD Radiance. Radiance is a very, very good player, and I want to nut him as soon as possible. Anytime I get to put damage into the other team's better players is a good thing. Now, you should probably keep an eye out on the names of bigger clans. For instance, on Asia, you're looking at guys like PLV and DH and the boys in some of the boys in Storm and FOE and the old ID boys, and you know when you see those tags, POI, all these guys, you need to be hitting them first. And they should be given priority as targets regardless of the tank they're in, because they're going to make good decisions and they're going to know how to put their tanks in positions to do damage. And we're just hanging around here basically waiting for a chance to get Radiance some more damage, because anytime I can do damage to the good guys, as I just mentioned, is a good thing. Now, going this flank on Castilla is excellent, but you've got to look at the enemy's layout and the composition of their team. And they had 2 mediums. I felt pretty confident going there when the pattern went with me, especially when he went low as well, rather than going up the mountaintop. Because what that meant is at least we're going to be going gun to gun, or possibly 2-on-1, and that's exactly what happened. And here's the other lunatic who tore us apart. And luckily, I've managed to flank around and get Mr. J in the backside, which is a fantastic thing to do in life. He certainly walloped me a few times. I did get a couple of CODs on him, but they were usually when the game was over and I was YOLOing like a lunatic just to get my own back. I'm sorry, boys. If you want to see all the wins you had against us, you're probably going to have to get your own YouTube channel. Because, geez, they were good. They played very, very well. And you can see that flank move completely put the cat amongst the pigeons. People go up the top of this map and they try to get the area around the church to snipe with. But in point of fact, it doesn't have fantastic views of the whole battlefield. It's got views of a very specific part of the battlefield, mainly that other ridge. And if you want to get shots anywhere else, you quite often have to expose yourself excessively, which means you're looking at a situation where even though you're getting shots, every TD in the world, once you're lit up, gets shots back at you. And it's very, very easy for you to get absolutely wrecked up there. So it's not actually a place that you want to base your whole strategy around. One good medium spotting that area for big TDs will get you the win 9 times out of 10. What you really want to do is own that flank. If you can own that flank and own that area and move forward, you're getting either into one spawn or the other, and into any camping TDs. You can spot them at range, do a whole lot of damage, and there's other games I've got coming up where that is certainly the case, and I do that. In fact, I've got one coming up on Castilla where we go the other way and do exactly the same thing from the other side. So there you go. That was a very solid game in the Object 140. Nice, different look at it, and this time out we are in the good old desert sands. Now, this map has been around since Adam was a lad, and it's certainly changed a lot. It used to be a lot of fun, but it had a big gully running down this left-hand flank here, and then a big lot of open space in the middle that never really got used. It was just a waste of time, and everyone camping on very tall areas on either end, and whichever side got spotted first usually died and lost first. But here we go. We're out on the left flank, and we called left. Remember that. We called left. We called left because we have 3 mediums and a big TD in Pimpo, and we're going to go out here and put the Fear of God into any medium silly enough to be around. They only have 2 mediums, so we should have a 1-gun advantage if they stay and fight. Of course they haven't, and I don't know what that dude's doing, but there you go. All well and good. We've had 3 guys stay on the right. The 95 could have got out of there very, very carefully right at the start, and lo and behold, how often does this happen where you call a flank and they just don't come, and instead they drive forward into 7 tanks and get absolutely wrecked. And Pimpo and I are in a bit of trouble here because, well, if you sit back and do nothing, your best case scenario is that you grind them down. But the problem you have with that, with most teams on this map, is that if you all go flank, you get 1 or 2 kids that just want to go across these tracks and push down into massive amounts of tanks. And so we've got a really tough situation here where we've got to make a choice. We've got to get involved or we've got to back off. And we decide at the end to go for it. Now, they're not pushing up really hard, and we don't want to push up early and become the main focus of these reds, because if we do that, then we're going to be wrecked, and that's not really the way you play the game. You play the game for damage, but you play the game for damage over time. And I didn't really want to take that VK45. He wasn't what I would have called a prime target. I really wanted that Jag Panzer 100. But unfortunately, I missed the shot on him, and we had to take what was on offer. And again, we come over here, and it's the VK45. Well, backing up along here. Now, this is actually pretty solid. Now, you're going to see the 140 do some really good things here. It's low profile, it's grand, and we've got Pimp in our back pocket. So we're going to put him out here with us, and we're getting shots into the sides of these guys as they chase around. And we take what's on offer, which is the IS-4, and we back up, even though he wasn't looking at us, because it's really important to actually make sure that you are clear, and if possible, you reset your camo. But it's not time for that, it's time for doing damage. And we've found these guys in a really good position. Now, we're in all kinds of trouble here. You can see just how much they are pumping our team. The guys who stayed and didn't move really copped a flogging. And I make 2 big errors. 2 big errors in this game. Massive ones. And I'll show them to you as they're happening. One of them is about to come up now. See that Jag Panzer 100? I've got APCR loaded. Now, it's an incredibly tough tank to pen frontally, and I've not had to use any heat so far. There he is. I've got him lined up. Now, I should just pull this shot and not even try it, but I don't. I wait. I've got the wrong ammo loaded, and I paid big style for it. And we're into the side of the scent, but that was an incredibly costly error. Just absolutely flogged us. Now we're down to 3 on 4. So we've done really, really well here, Pimpo and I, to pull this back. And I'm really worried about this Jag pushing up on us. But now it's Pimpo and I 2 on 4. Now Pimp's got the big gun. So what I want to do is move up here and give him some cover on the right, but also take anyone that comes up here on the left, most notably this Leo 1. Now, I said I'd made 2 big errors. The second one will come up soon. And it's an absolute horror show. And for a man that talks about prioritising targets and everything, it's horrible. But you can see we're snapshotting plenty of tanks, and we're moving back on this incline, because what that does is it gets the angles going on the Object 140's upper plate. And we get a nice easy shot in here on the T110E5 again. And we're just working the numbers. Now this is the Leo right here. Turns him into a one shot or a good roll. That should be my target right now. I see the Jagdpanzer 100. He's got to go. That's fine. The Leo, the Leo, the Leo. Pimp is yelling at the moment in Discord to go the Leo. And I don't. And the Leo kills me. And Pimp then has to waste a full round on a 312 hit point tank that I should have been on in the first place. And you saw the heat from that E5 go over the top. And Pimp's down, one-on-one. Done tremendously well here. I think this is a really good effort from us all the same. But Pimp has to roll big. And unfortunately, he had no AP left. Was down to just Hesh and missed the shot. Ends up rolling just 174. What are the odds on a 1450 average damage shell that it's going to roll 174 on a... and just missed the reload. Incredibly tough stuff. But a really good job from the good guys there, I thought, from Pimpo and myself. Just clawing that one back to make it a one-shot loss. Like, literally close as you can get. There you go. About 7.5k from the platoon. Very solid effort there. The boys that didn't come out, I mean, this is just part of the game. And it's one of the reasons you love playing it at X, because it's a really tough and challenging place to play. And like I said, this run, we lost a lot of guys, lost the games to the 101 AD boys, and they were fantastic games. We had some some big attempts at carries that just came short, and we had some really fun times. But for all that, you get better playing X. You get much better playing Tier X because it's a massive big hit point pool. You've got to do a lot of damage to grind through it, and the guns you face are the biggest in the game, and it's just a lot of fun. You're not going to win as much at X, I don't think. I think it's a much tougher tier to carry in. If you can win a 65 to 70% win rate up there in a few tanks, then you're doing really well. You should give yourself a pat in the back. Anything over 50%, you're really pulling up your socks and carrying hard, or doing well in X. So that's it. That's a couple of games there with the Pimp Meister General. He's been playing a little bit lately. I had some good games today with Hoodie, and we played with Snake and the Farting Bear, a good mate of mine. Fantastic name. Lots of stuff going on. I hope you like it. We've got the EU boot camp on Sunday. Going to be a great barrel of laughs there with the boys. I'm really looking forward to that. Going to be up bright and early with the sparrows chirping, make my first cup of coffee for the day, and then get on there and abuse some humans. Looking forward to it, boys and girls. Make sure you look after your families. And if you haven't already thought about sponsoring the channel, Patreon's always there for you. Stay safe out there on the battlefield, team.